All right, Schlockmeister fans. Tonight we have a Red Fox movie. It's called Norman. Is That You? Let's watch.
Wearing the load of life.
Red Fox plays Ben Chambers. He's come to visit his son, Norman.
Yes, who is it?
Norman, is that you?
Yes, you married.
Norman hasn't told his parents yet that he's
He'll
gay.
be here in a minute.
And this is Garson.
Oh, darn.
Nightmare. Any minute now I'm going to wake up and be sound asleep again. Please, God, let this be a nightmare.
Get dressed and get out of here.
She's not listening.
No, why should I have her mother? What's wrong?
You remember Uncle Albert?
Yeah, I remember Uncle Albert. Well, what happened to him?
Same thing happened to your mother.
Dad, what are you talking about?
They ran off together.
Yeah.
You got vodka?
Vodka.
Vodka.
Yeah.
Well, forget the orange juice and give me the vodka.
You see, he's using my bathroom because his toilet overflowed.
Oh, look, I accidentally dropped this picture of Normie. Isn't it awful? I could just die. I could just roll.
But why go to Larry Davenport's?
Because Larry Davenport respects me.
Oh, yeah? Well, Larry Davenport is crazy. And I wish you'd stay away from him.
Hello, Lawrence Davenport's apartment.
Hello, Larry.
Whom should I say is calling?
Come on, Larry, this is Norman. Is Garson upstairs?
Millie's on the methadone, and Jillie's on the juice. Tillie's on the telephone, but I'm on the loose.
What the hell is that?
I'm free as a fleet.
That's Larry.
Hold on, Manuel. Hey, wait a minute. Hold on, you're taking Norman's girlfriend's dress.
I am she.
I got bad news for you. I think my son is a queer.
Su esposa está aquí con su hermano y acaba de descubrir que su hijo es marica.
So he decides to buy some books on the subject.
Homosexuality for and against. The gay way. All the president's men. I should have known.
He buys a hooker for his son. Or rents, I guess. Tamara Dobson.
Very immature attitude.
Yeah, but it works. Look, Juliet, all I know is when Norman left Arizona, he was an all-American boy. He wore sweatshirts, read Popular Mechanics, and in the high school band, he played the tuba. Not the flute, the tuba.
Anyway, Ben and Garson go out together.
I go in Hollywood.
My truck.
You know something, Mr. Chambers? There's a lot of Mussolini in you.
What's wrong with that? I didn't approve of his politics, but at least he dated women.
Boy, I cannot believe it.
One of Norman's friends is trying to tempt him.
One of the reasons that I got you smashed is to prove to you that a man and a woman.
Homosexual Dry Cleaner of the Year. The winner is Mr. Ben Chambers.
Ben's having a dream, or a nightmare in his case, maybe. These are the Nelly Awards.
She. Audrey, meet Garson. Garson, Audrey.
Hello, Garson.
How do you like her?
Boy, she's an animal. She's just gorgeous.
Mrs. Smith.
Pearl Bailey is Ben's wife,
Ben, let me in.
and she shows up too.
What
Apparently,
happened to the romance of the century?
It's all over between me and Albert.
that's ended.
Becoming a homo.
What are you talking about?
Your son is a homosexual.
You're making the whole thing up. It's me.
Make that 5 major problems.
Who's that? Norman? Is that you?
Hello, Albert. You son of a bitch. You no good, lousy, greasy, funky, low-life bastard.
That's his brother.
What you did was unforgivable. Stealing my wife.
But I'm not a fanatic like he is.
I'm not a fanatic. It's just finding out about Norman, the Dodgers, and Stephen Foster all in the same day isn't the easiest thing to adjust to.
Ben's got a surprise.
I went out and joined the Navy.
I mean, Norman's got a surprise.
Oh, no. Oh.
Garson, speak to me.
It's on.
I think I have an idea. Garson will come back to live with us in Tucson.
Garson,
That's right. Garson will come back with us.
1 out of 6. 1 out of 6.
That's how many people are gay, apparently.
Sunday, 22 men on the field. 6 goes into 22. I don't know.
All right, let's talk about Norman Is That You? Not really a schlocky type film. It's more of a, well, it's comedy is what it is. Maybe a little bit of drama rolled in there. 1976, I think this came out. I think this came out right after Red Fox's run ended on Sanford and Son. Red Fox stars along with Pearl Bailey. Dennis Dugan is also in this movie. Dennis Dugan is now teamed up with Adam Sandler these days, and they do a lot of their projects together. But anyway, the movie itself, it was based on a Broadway play, I believe, and Red Fox goes from Tucson to California to visit his son Ben. I'm sorry, to visit his son Norman. What he doesn't know is that Norman is a homosexual, and he hasn't come out to his parents yet. So he bursts in, and Norman is living with this guy Garson, played by Dennis Dugan, and they agree that they're not going to tell him, and blah blah blah, because his dad wouldn't understand. His dad is there, kind of mending a broken heart because his wife, Norman's mom, recently left and ran off with Ben's brother, Albert. They ran off to Mexico, and they're having an affair. So Red Fox is obviously a little bummed about this. Well, eventually Ben figures out that his son is in fact gay when Garson basically comes out and says, I'm she, his girlfriend. And Ben doesn't understand. He tries to buy books on this subject, but overall he's more or less accepting, but not in a bad way, really. But he does try to get his son laid with a girl. He hires a hooker, like I said. He just doesn't quite understand it, but he starts to learn. He ends up going out, hanging out with Garson one night. They go to a club and watch a comedian who's Waylon from Waylon and Madam. He plays Larry Davenport in this movie. Larry Davenport is a bitch. So they hang out. They actually form a little bond together. He still doesn't agree with the whole homosexuality thing. And then Pearl Bailey shows up. She comes and says the affair is over. Albert sucked. When Norman comes back, Norman says, I joined the Navy. So he's going to go off to war or whatever he's going to do. Both mom and dad are somewhat accepting of this, and they have this idea. They're going to get back together. They're going to go back to Tucson where they run some sort of store or shop or something. They're going to have Garson come with them. And Garson's going to work in the shop. And at one point, Red Fox says, well, I guess he'll just do what Albert did. Albert used to work for him, his brother. I just won't have to worry about him, because he's a homosexual, obviously. So anyway, like I said, not really a schlocky movie, more of a comedy. It's a pretty rare film, too. It did come out on videotape in the late 90s. I saw this movie back on cable back in the early 80s. It showed up on cable a few times, and I kind of enjoyed it. So I tracked it down in the late 90s, got the VHS tape, and now I have it on a DVD-R. Not available on DVD as of yet. So this is, again, homemade box art. This is one of the very first DVDs I ever burned. I did this about 4 years ago. So anyway, it's Norman Is That You? I'm curious if anybody else has seen this movie. This might be streaming. I'm not sure. But anyway, check it out. Let me know what you think about it. Norman Is That You? Watch it. Bye.